Hello and welcome back to Vicky Makes and Builds. Right, so I've got a bit of a puzzle haul style video for you today. I've been acquiring a few puzzles recently, new puzzles, and they're sort of building up, and I thought maybe it would be nice to show you what I've got and what's in store for the channel as well. So I am also would like to build one of the puzzles for you today as well. It's a smaller one, a 500 piece. So hopefully this video won't be too overly long with me talking and not doing very much puzzling. But anyway, I'll just dive right in really, and I'm going to start with my Wasgij puzzles. So in regard to my Wasgij puzzles, I actually have a video in the works. I've sort of started doing some of the filming and the planning for it, all about Wasgij and just kind of diving into what Wasgij are all about, what they are, and showing you a few different kind of examples of Wasgij. I have actually done videos on Wasgijs on this channel. Some that I did right at the very start of the channel, quite old ones. Well, last year old. So you know, you can check those out as well. But the ones I have purchased specifically for the video that I have planned are this one here, which I have started, so you might hear the pieces rattling a bit. There's a few still left in the box. This is Destiny Wasgij number 21. There are different types of Wasgij, different what they call concepts, and I'll go more into detail about that in the video I do on it. But the Destiny Wasgij in general aren't, the puzzle that you build isn't the same as the image on the box. So the Destiny Wasgij is another one where you're not puzzling the image that you see in front of you, but you are puzzling what the scene would be several years in the future or in modern day times. So I got the Destiny Wasgij for that particular video because I've actually already done an original Wasgij and a mystery Wasgij on the channel. So I thought I'd try a Destiny one and show you what that's like. So yeah, that was a pretty recent purchase, bought that one new. The other one I'm doing for that particular video is one called the Wasg Imagine puzzle. That's this one here. I got that from eBay. They actually, Jumbo, who makes Wasgij, they actually don't make these puzzles anymore, the Imagine series. They released them in 2015, and I discovered in my research on the video that I'm doing that they released two other concepts, Imagine and one called Back 2, and I didn't actually know that they had. So when I discovered that they had, I set to having a look to see if I could get one, and I found one. Well, I found a few on eBay, and I bought this one. It is an Imagine one, and this one is Imagine number 2. If the wheel had not been invented. So the puzzle you are building is this image, but if the wheel hadn't been invented. So it's quite quirky, quite a cool concept. But as I say, they're not releasing these particular ones anymore. So I was quite excited to get that. It wasn't too expensive, you know. They're not sort of rare or anything like that. But I love Wasgij, and I'm sort of trying to start a little collection of them. So it was quite exciting for me to get hold of that one. So that's another one of my recent acquisitions. I have two other Wasgijs here that I didn't purchase for a video. These were lucky charity shop finds. Basically, Wasgij first came out in 1997, and I actually built that puzzle, the first one, when I was a kid, and I discovered sometime late last year, that my parents still had that puzzle in their loft. It's up there on the shelf, and I built it on this channel, so you can watch the video on that. But one I did find, as I was just walking past the charity shop that's near here, and the puzzles just happened to be in the window, and I glanced over and I saw a Wasgij peeking out from behind like a row of puzzles, and I could see that it was one of the original releases because it's in the old style box and it's got the Falcon logo. Now they have the Jumbo logo on them. But I instantly turned around and went in to the shop and I bought it. And I've actually built this puzzle since buying it, and all the pieces are there as well. So I was very, very excited to find that. I would like to try and get the original kind of releases of these, because you can get them as like re-releases. They call them retro Wasgij. They've like released the old puzzles, but just as new ones, so you can complete your collection. But I always find it quite cool when I actually find an original one in the shops. So I've also got Wasgij 3 as well as Wasgij 1. I'm hopeful that I'll maybe find 2 one day. But yeah, that was a lucky charity shop find. And this is another charity shop find that was from the same shop, actually. I go in there fairly regularly now and just check out what they have. They seem to get quite a few puzzles in. This is the 4th Mystery Wasgij. Mystery came after Destiny. It was the original concept, then a few years later they brought out the Destiny, and then a couple of years later they brought out the Mystery Wasgij. So this is number 4, so it's one of the fairly early ones, and there's a sticker on it that says checked and all pieces there. So I'm hopeful that that's right, because I haven't actually built this puzzle yet, but yeah, I was excited to find this as well, so I picked this up from that particular charity shop as well. So that was really, really good. Again, if you don't know what a mystery Wasgij is, I have done another video of a mystery Wasgij, so I'll link them in the description below and you can maybe check those out. But if you'd rather wait until I bring out my kind of Wasgij video where I dive into kind of all the different Wasgijs, then you can do that as well. But anyway, it's there if you would like to have a look. So there are all my Wasgij recent purchases. What will I do next? Right, well, what I'll do next is I'll show you the recent purchases that I haven't done yet, but that you may possibly know about. If you're a subscriber to the channel and you've watched my other videos, you will probably know that I have recently purchased this. This is the Ravensburger 9,000 piece Magical Dragon Forest. I mentioned this in my most recent 9,000 piece puzzle that I did, which is up on the channel. It was the Disney Museum. And I mentioned this because I was fairly certain that I was going to buy it at some point. I love dragons, big fantasy fan. And I knew that you could get hold of it. I think it was released last year. I'd seen it kind of floating about on Amazon and things. And I've also seen pictures of it completed on Facebook groups and things like that. So, you know, I sort of had my eye on it to buy at some point. I just didn't quite expect how quickly I would buy it. I had a moment of madness one day and just saw it on a local website and thought, yeah, okay, I'm just going to get it. So it came really quickly as well. So this is waiting in the wings for me to do. I'm really looking forward to it, but I am going to have a break. Just give it a wee rest for a little while at least, because I've only just finished a 9,000 piece puzzle. But yeah, look out for this one in the near future. I can't wait. I can't wait to get started on that. I will be building this in the sections. So Ravensburger 9,000 piece puzzles come in 2 sections. And they're literally split down the middle, so you get a bag of pieces which represents the left half and a bag of pieces which represents the right half. And I will be building it like that this time around. My other 9,000 piece puzzle, which you can probably see above my head on the shelf behind me, I mixed the pieces on that and I did all 9,000 pieces and it was good. I enjoyed the challenge of that, but I think I'm going to, because I love the image on this so much, I think I'm going to enjoy it more if I just do it in the sections and just enjoy every minute of it and not kind of feel like I need to sort of challenge myself with sheer piece numbers and things. I'm just going to do it like that and just enjoy it. But I'm still going to film it for the channel, so look out for this one. Right, my next few puzzles are ones I have purchased because I've been wanting to try some different brands of puzzles. I realised recently that, you know, I've got different brands that I've done on the channel, videos that I've done on various different brands, but I was finding that I was doing a lot of Clementinis and quite a few Cloudberries and more than one Ravensburger. And I just thought, I really feel like I want to kind of branch out, try a few different brands. I've seen lots of different brands and puzzles that people have done on Facebook and on Instagram, and TikTok as well. And I just really like the look of some of them. So I thought, right, I'm gonna just buy a few different ones and branch out a little bit. So these puzzles are ones that I bought for that reason. The first one I'll mention is this Heye puzzle, which I've already put up the video for. That I bought a couple of weeks ago. It's my first Heye puzzle, and it's called Meow, and it's got a little cat on it and a big kind of splash of colour, and the artwork's by Laura Zombie. So you can catch my video on this puzzle. I've put it up already, so you might already know that I have this, but this was a recent acquisition. And I did buy this because it was among a group of puzzles that I wanted to do that are just brands that are new to me. So that's that one. The next one I'm really excited about doing. I've had my eye on these puzzles for a long time, and I've held off purchasing them because they are an overseas brand. I'm in the UK, and they're based in California, I think. It's a blue Kazoo puzzle, and it's called Earth. It's the 1,000-piece version of it. I think they do a smaller version of it, a 250-piece, if I'm correct. And I actually first discovered this brand on the Karen Puzzles channel. She did, I think, the solid red puzzle that they do, but she also pieced together the moon puzzle. And she had a giveaway, I think, on some of their galaxy puzzles. But I was particularly drawn towards the space puzzles. They do Earth, they've got the moon, they have one of the sun, and more recently Mars. And I think, having looked at their website recently, it looks as though they will soon be releasing Mercury, Venus and Jupiter. And I just love their round puzzles. And I just loved them. As soon as I saw them, I thought, oh man, I really, really want to try that. It took a while to get here, but it did arrive a few days ago, and I'm really excited to start it. So that is the Blue Kazoo Earth puzzle. I'm going to get some of the others as well, but the postage is a wee bit high. So, you know, buying these puzzles is just a little more of an expense than if I was buying from the UK. So I'll get these gradually, but I will definitely be getting more of them. I'm hopeful that it'll be a nice puzzle to do. I've heard good things about them. I've seen pictures and things on Instagram and that, so I'm sure I will enjoy it. But yeah, hopeful that I'll get a few more of their puzzles as well. So that's that one. This one was an unplanned purchase. I found this in a charity shop. It is a brand I've never done before, which is why I'm talking about it in the kind of new brand segment of this video. But it wasn't one I'd actually planned on getting. I was in a charity shop near where I live, different to the Wasgij one, and I was looking at the puzzles, and I was about to walk out of the shop. There was nothing really that drew my eye. Then suddenly I saw just kind of the side of the box like this. It's quite a small box. And I saw the words "World's Smallest 1,000-Piece Puzzle." And I thought, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. And I pulled it off the shelf and I had a look at it. It's got a picture of the Sydney Opera House on it. It's by Cheatwell Games. And that's actually a brand I've heard of. I've actually played games by Cheatwell Games, but I didn't know they did puzzles. It's not really an image I'd necessarily choose to do on a puzzle. That's nice enough, but what really drew me was the world's smallest 1,000-piece element of it, and I thought, oh, well, that could be quite interesting to do. So, and it was 50p, so I couldn't really complain. So I grabbed it and I bought it, and I have had a look at the pieces. They are tiny, teeny tiny little pieces. The only thing that's slightly, I mean, apart from the tiny size, which I might need a magnifying glass for, the only thing that slightly puts me off about this puzzle is that clearly all of the pieces are only the standard shape of piece. I'll take a photo of the pieces and so you can get a bit more of a close-up of what they look like, but they're all the standard shape, 2 outs, 2 ins. So that could make it a bit more difficult to do as well, but I'm looking forward to having a go at that and just see what it's like to do Cheatwell Games' version of the world's smallest 1,000-piece puzzle. So watch out for that coming up. Hopeful that all the pieces are there. I do know that that particular charity shop won't take puzzles unless you've counted the pieces, although it is entirely possible somebody's donated this and not been honest about that, but fingers crossed, it will all be present and correct. So that's that one. The last one I bought, which I've opened but not taken it out of the cardboard, which is a new brand to me, is this one here. It is a 500-piece puzzle. It's the one I'm going to build in this video for you. And it is a puzzle by Art and Fable. And it's called Along the River by an artist called Mandy Budan. Now, the story behind this one is that I was watching another puzzle YouTuber called Piece by Piece Puzzler, and he did a video on an Art and Fable, sorry. He did a video on Art and Fable puzzle. I think it's called Microcosmic Garden. It was a really great video, and he's got a really great channel. So go and check his channel out. He does some lovely puzzles. And I was quite drawn by the brand. I'd never actually heard of them before, but they seem to be very supportive of the artists that they have on their puzzles, which is something that I think is really, really good. But not only that, Richard over at Piece by Piece Puzzler mentioned that they have something called Velvet Touch, a Velvet Touch surface on their pieces, which I was particularly intrigued by. And as soon as I'd watched that video, I thought, I really want to try these Velvet Touch pieces. I really want to see what that's like. I've never heard of that before. Never done a puzzle that professes to have Velvet Touch pieces. So I went on the website and I had a look at the different artists, and I found an artist called Mandy Budan, and she has some really lovely, colourful patterns on her artwork, and I was really drawn by all the colours and the artwork by her. So I bought this one. It's 500 pieces and it's called Along the River, and I would like to build this today for you. But before I do that, I've got one more puzzle to show you, one more recent purchase. In fact, I got this only yesterday, and I keep telling myself that I'll stop buying big puzzles, but then I keep finding ones that I really, really like and buying them anyway. So this was a bit of a naughty purchase. But what the hey, I did it anyway. I bought another large Clementoni puzzle. It's a 6,000 piece puzzle. Apologies for the reflection on these boxes. It's because they still have the cellophane on them and they're reflecting off the window and the lights. It's this one. It's the 6,000 piece Las Vegas puzzle by Clementoni. I've had my eye on this for quite a while, but the supermarket near me actually just started stocking it, and it was a pretty good price, and I happened to have a gift voucher with that particular shop. So I thought, well, I might as well just get that puzzle that I've been wanting for a while. So I literally have only just opened the box and started sorting pieces on my 6,000 piece Edgerka Entering the Bedroom puzzle. So I'm not going to get round to this for a little while, but still, it's mine. It will be on the shelf waiting for me to do at some stage. Whether I do it before or after the 9,000 piece Ravensburger, I don't know. But I need to curb my spending on the giant puzzles. I can't stop myself. But, you know, I gather I'm not alone in that. The puzzle buying habit seems to be quite addictive. But anyway, This is my most recent puzzle purchase, the Clementoni Las Vegas 6,000 piece puzzle. I'm really looking forward to starting it. I love the colours on this. With it being Las Vegas, it is all lit up, and there's yellow lights and pink lights and all different coloured lights. Looks like the sky might be slightly nightmarish on this puzzle. It's a fairly big section of sky to do. Some solid colour going on there. Don't know how much I'll regret that element of it, but I think it's going to look great when it's done. So that's it. That's my last puzzle haul puzzle that I had to show you. So I will stop there and I will set up the camera and I will get started on this 500 piece Mandy Budan Art and Fable puzzle for you today. I hope you enjoy it and I'll see you at the end. Right, so here it is. Now, I'm going to start with an apology. I actually recorded a whole bit where I opened the cellophane on this puzzle and got the stuff out, and I went through a whole thing about it and realised that it wasn't recording. So I'm obviously having one of those days today. Unfortunately, the bag of pieces is opened already, so you won't be able to see me do that, but I will go through everything again and just let you know what was in and on the box. So yeah, I mean, the box is really nice. It's got this kind of soft feel, thick cardboard, and so it's quite a sturdy, nice box. Feels like a high quality puzzle. It's obviously got a picture of the whole puzzle on the front and the title of the puzzle and the artist at the top. It's called Along the River by Mandy Budan. It's got the piece count and the logo there. And it tells you what's inside. High quality print of this beautiful artwork included inside. It's the usual stuff really around the edge. That's got the title of the puzzle and a little snippet of the image. Again, the piece count and the logo there. Slightly more of the same there. This side does tell you, it gives you the puzzle number and it also tells you the size. So this one is 34 by 48 centimetres. I'll put the inches on the screen for you. It gives it in centimetres on here. But if you work in inches, I'll pop that up on the screen. And this one is actually, it's worth pointing out, a portrait one. It's in a portrait orientation rather than a landscape. At the bottom, you've got a QR code, the recycle symbol, choking hazard warning, and a barcode. And that's it for that. Now, inside the box came this, it's like a thick piece of card. It's got the Art and Fable logo on it. And what it is a box top stand. So you pop out this little U-shaped piece of card and you slide the box into the flap and it becomes a little kind of stand for your box lid so you can look at the image. And I'm actually going to put this over here while I'm working on it. I think that might be quite handy, so that's very good. That's a really useful thing. Now, other things that came in the box are obviously the pieces. Now, the pieces came in this sealed plastic bag, which in and of itself isn't out of the ordinary, but it also came with a resealable bag. Just as it is, as you see here, which I assume is for restoring the pieces once you finish the puzzle. The only question I have regarding that, I mean, I do appreciate a reusable bag, I really do, reusable plastic, that's a good thing, but I'm not really sure why they didn't put the pieces in a resealable bag in the first place. That would have made more sense to me than using a bag you're going to throw away, you know, and then giving you a reusable bag as well. So I was slightly confused by that, but, you know, fine, all fine. So that's there. That came in the box as well. And the other thing that came in the box was this print of the picture on the front of the puzzle, and it's the artwork by Mandy Budan, and it's really a lovely image. It comes on very thick cardboard. I mean, this isn't just like a paper poster. This is a thick piece of card. So, you know, everything about the puzzle and all the things that have come with it scream out high quality to me. Like, it feels like a high quality puzzle to me at this stage. On the back, it talks about the artist, and also there's a small section about donations from the sales of the puzzle, which go to a charity. So it says on here, in her abstract landscapes, Mandy Budan rearranges the elements of nature. She uses strong colour, discrete shapes and rhythmic patterns to reveal the beauty of nature in unexpected ways. Her inspiration stems from the green spaces in her home province of Ontario, where she looks for an elusive combination of light, colour and shape to stimulate her creative energy. And apparently donations from the sale of this puzzle will go to Ontario Shores. Now, I think they do support a few different charities, the Art and Fable puzzles, but this one in particular goes to Ontario Shores, which is a centre for mental health sciences. It's a public teaching hospital providing a range of specialised assessment and treatment services to those living with complex and serious mental illness. And there is a website, ontarioshores.ca, and it's got the website of the puzzle company as well. So all really nice stuff, all really good information. It seems like a really supportive puzzle company, Art and Fable. It definitely supports the artists on their puzzles, but also obviously there's a proportion of it that goes towards charities as well. Right, let's move on to the pieces. I am going to just give them a wee shuffle. I mean, I obviously have already emptied them, but I'll just give them a wee rummage. And yeah, talk a little bit about this velvet touch element. So I'm picking up just one of the pieces here, and it does feel really soft, and it does actually feel quite velvety. It doesn't feel like fabric or anything like that. I wasn't necessarily expecting it to, but there is definitely a really nice soft feel to this piece, and it is quite nice to handle the piece. I don't see any glare on this piece whatsoever. Now, I have quite strong softbox lights on either side of me. I've got one on each side. I'm going to just hold it close to one of them and see if I can see just any kind of glare from this. And I don't see any. It's completely non-glossy, which is brilliant. For me, I really do, I don't particularly like reflective or shiny pieces, and these are just the ticket. I mean, they're just really, really nice. They feel nice. They look nice. The image, the image on the piece looks to be bright. There's no kind of fading or anything. No fraying. Looks like quite thick cardboard. This sort of medium blue colour. And yeah, the pieces do just look really, really good. You've got all the piece shapes kind of represented here. You've got the standard piece shape. You've got 3 outs, 1 in, a couple of edge pieces there, 2 outs, 2 ins, 4 ins. I've managed to get a corner piece in that lot as well. So yeah, this looks like it's going to be a really nice puzzle to do. So I'm going to just stop talking about it now and just get on with building it, and I hope that you enjoy. Right, so I've gone with a method that I don't use very often, but I think might work quite well for this puzzle. This method I call the lay it all out method. I don't know if there is an official name for it, but basically it involves just getting all the pieces out, turning them all the right way, and spreading them out. And I think with this puzzle, the piece, as you can see, the pieces in this puzzle are very busy. They have a lot of colour on each individual piece, and you wouldn't really, because it's kind of abstract artwork, you wouldn't really be able to tell from looking at an individual piece what on earth you are puzzling a picture of. You know, you wouldn't be able to tell from this that you were doing a tree, for example. So, I mean, you might possibly figure out that there was a sky element involved. There are a few blue pieces, and in fact, I think that's one of the things that's going to help me put this together. the blue pieces. I think I'm actually going to do the sky first. After the edge, I'll do the edge first. I've separated the edges, they're all in the middle here, and I've put them in this sort of gap that I've created between all of the other pieces, and I will build the puzzle in this area here. So I'll get the edges together and I will work on probably the sky first, because as I said, the pieces are very busy looking. It's hard to pick any kind of bunch out and put them together. There are a few dark pieces, which I'm assuming are the tree trunk. So, you know, there is that element as well. But I actually think this puzzle might be quite tough. So I'll start with the edge. I'll maybe work on sky after that. And I will look out kind of dark pieces with sort of dark brown and black on, because that will be the tree. And then the rest will be fitting in like the tree's foliage and the little bit at the bottom. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Pieces feel amazing, so I'm really looking forward to starting to put them together. So let's get going. Right, so the edge is done. And it wasn't too bad. It was sort of a wee bit tough. I kind of started with the blue pieces. They went together pretty quick. And then I sort of did the top and bottom because I noted that they were, the top and bottom pieces were sort of tall and narrow. So I managed to put those together pretty quickly, and obviously the top ones also had kind of sky on them as well, so that wasn't too bad. The side pieces were a bit slower, but I was a little bit kind of stumbled by the fact that I didn't have a couple of the edges. They were sort of still among this bunch of pieces, so I'd obviously missed those when I was turning all the pieces over. So I kind of put as many in place as I could, and then I began to find pieces with mostly blue on, and as I was kind of just going through and picking those out, I then spotted the edge pieces. So that's complete now, and what I've got in here in the middle of the rectangle is bits of sky. So I'm going to try putting those together just now, and then, as I said earlier, move on to probably this kind of piece here, black and blue and black and green and things like that. Get the tree trunk done, and I'm hopeful that it'll come together sort of quicker as I go along with it. It's not an easy puzzle. It's quite a tough image to do because the pieces are sort of so busy with colours and lines, and there's kind of a lot going on each individual piece, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it, and these pieces are like nothing I've ever puzzled with before. They're sort of really non-slip because they're that velvety feel. They're sort of like when I've been putting pieces in, like for example an edge piece. I'll see if I can kind of show you. It's hard to explain, but I've sort of known it was right, but I've gone to put it in and then it sort of got stuck. The card on the back has sort of got stuck on the velvet. Because they're not slippy, and then I've sort of like had to kind of like tap it a bit to get it in. Not because it's hard to get in, it's just you have to place it just right. Because the card on the back doesn't really slide easily across this kind of velvety non-slip sort of surface, so I've not really been able to kind of slip them into position, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I don't know if that is kind of clear. I'm trying to explain, but you know, that's just a silly little thing. Like it's not a complaint really. I love the pieces. I really love this velvet touch, and I really like that there's just no glare on them at all. But yeah, it's taken a little bit of getting used to, but it's absolutely fine, and I'm really enjoying the puzzle so far. So yeah, so I'm going to just get on with the sky pieces just now. Okay, so I've pretty much followed the plan that I laid out at the start. I've done most of this sky area, and I have made a start on the tree trunk. And I've still got a few kind of dark bits there, which I'm assuming will go in the tree trunk and possibly some of the kind of the branches. But a lot of the pieces that are left now are they look a lot the same. They've got bits of all different colours on, and I think now is the time when progress will start to slow down a little bit. It isn't easy, this puzzle, I have to say. I'm having fun with it, but it's not easy. So I think there may well be some shape sorting that possibly goes on here as well, to try and get these pieces in, because there's just so many different colours in it. So it's hard to sort the pieces really, because the colours are scattered all over. And and all the textures are the same, you know, so I'm working with probably eventually shapes on this. However, it's a 500 piece. I've got a good few in, and, you know, the pieces are definitely going down, so I'm hopeful that I won't be labouring at it for, you know, hours and hours on end. But yeah, so the strategy so far has worked, but starting to reach the kind of the difficult bit now, I would say. So we'll just keep plugging away and take each piece as it comes. Right, so it's coming along nicely. Past halfway now, I'd say about 2/3 of the way through. I've got a sort of a manageable amount of pieces, but I have to say, I am glad that this puzzle is only 500 pieces. I think that this would have taken quite a long time if it was 1,000 pieces. I've basically, once I got this kind of bottom area done and the edge, I basically just sorted by shape. And I've really just been going up the puzzle, and just, I might sort of go to different sections. So I might do a tiny little bit up here and up there, and I might flip from that side to this side and back again, just for a bit of variety. But for the most part, I've just been going along and looking at where a piece goes. So let's say, for example, this one, and saying to myself, right, okay, so I need a piece that will fit in here shape-wise, that has a bit of kind of quite bold red in the top corner and a bit of black branch going through it. And then I will pick which pieces it could be. So probably head for this pile first and scan through. And then it can't be those, could be these. So I'm looking for a bit of red in this kind of top box area. That doesn't look as though it would fit. And I really just go through them like that. So it could be one of these. And I go through them like that. And I have actually already scanned for that piece. So I do know where it is. It's in one of these pieces. So the red will be in this kind of area here. And it's actually that one there. But basically, you get the idea. Just going through it bit by bit and finding the pieces with the right sort of colour, going across it or running through it or along the edges of it, and then just putting them in. And it's really going a bit faster as I go along, because obviously I've got less and less pieces. And I'm actually really enjoying it. I mean, that can be quite a tedious way of puzzling, but because the colours are so bright and I really like the image, because it's 500 pieces, and also the velvet touch and everything, I've actually sort of enjoyed doing this at a fairly leisurely pace.
And the colours are very bright, so you can, you know, if you know what colours you're looking for on a piece and roughly where they are on the piece, I can pick them out. So like, for example, in this area here, a lot of these pieces were sort of by and large turquoise greens, kind of aqua blues, things like that. So there was to a certain extent, I could kind of skim the pieces with my eyes and find the ones it was likely to be from the sort of the overall colour of the piece. So, you know, it's not been, I've been staring painstakingly at every single piece all the time. Like, it really hasn't been that experience. But it is, you know, it is the kind of puzzle where I really do just have to look at the pieces and they have to be organised. Otherwise, it would just be a mess in front of my eyes and impossible to kind of focus on what colours I'm looking for. So that's the method I've adopted now, and I'll just continue on with that as I move up the puzzle and get it finished off. Okay, I'm ready to put the last piece in, and I don't know if you've ever seen that thing that people sometimes do where they have the last piece of the puzzle and they move it around the puzzle and they kind of wave it around a bit and they sort of dance around the gap and then eventually they just push it into the gap. Well, I think if I try that, it would demonstrate nicely what I meant earlier when I was talking about the velvety texture of the top of the piece and how it interacts with the cardboard on the back of the piece. Because they're both sort of quite rough surface, well, not rough, this is velvety, so it's soft, but it's sort of clingy at the same time. So they kind of, it has this sort of sticky effect where they stick to each other. And it's not smooth enough to rub anything across, if you see what I mean. So if I tried to do that with this piece, which I will do just now, I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to move it across. Oh, it is sort of moving, but just occasionally it finds a sticky bit and the whole puzzle moves. So if I wanted to do that wee trick with the last piece, I would literally have to hold it in place with my other hand. And it kind of creates that friction and it moves the whole thing. And actually, I usually do like the rub at the end of a puzzle as well. And actually, I'm going to have to hold the puzzle down to do that as well, because my hand doesn't really slide across it easily either. Unless I sort of skim it really lightly, my hand just moves the puzzle. So it has this kind of sticky effect. But anyway, that's just an observation. I really like the pieces. It's just sort of funny because it's an effect I've not really kind of experienced really when I do puzzles. This is the first one like this I've ever done. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking now and I'm going to put the last piece in. So there you go. The puzzle is now finished. Yay!
So there we have it, a puzzle haul and a puzzle for you today. A little bit of both. Since finishing the puzzle and moving my camera to film this part of the video, my cat has jumped up and decided to get comfortable on the puzzle. You obviously just think that they're special cat beds that I just keep making for you every now and again, don't you? I think you must do. Anyway. I really enjoyed the puzzle. I thought it was great fun to do. I loved the colours, I loved the image. I think that it was really the image that just made the whole thing just quite like satisfying and enjoyable to do. That and the velvet touch pieces, I really did like that aspect of it. So well done, Art and Fable. I thought that was really, really good. and there was absolutely no glare whatsoever on these pieces, which, you know, is a plus for me. Definitely a really good aspect to these puzzles. The pieces held together really well. I had no problems with that at all, and there weren't any false fits. There was maybe 2 occasions where I had put a piece in the wrong place, but it was obvious they didn't fit, rather than, you know, that being a problem with the piece shape, you know, being too similar. I just wasn't looking closely enough. So the pieces are really, really good. The only thing that I noticed that I mentioned already is it had the Velvet Touch surface had this kind of friction effect against the cardboard on the back. So when I was pushing pieces along other pieces, sometimes, you know, you have to just kind of move it along a bit and slot it in. It was just having this kind of sticky effect, which was, again, not really an issue, but just something that I've not experienced before when I've done other puzzles, because I've never used pieces with this velvet touch to them. So I thought that was a really good aspect. And yeah, definitely rate Art and Fable puzzles. I think that they're really good. I love that they support the artists. I think they've got a good variety of different artworks, you know, something to suit everybody's tastes. This particular one really suited mine, so I really enjoyed it. Loved all the colours and everything. So yeah, I would recommend an Art and Fable puzzle if you've never tried one before and you're looking for something new, perhaps something a bit artistic. Definitely go ahead and check them out and try out this lovely velvet touch technology that they have. It's really very nice. I keep sort of rubbing it now. I don't know if you've noticed. My cat's gone, so I can rub the puzzle again. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it. It was quite tough, quite hard to do. But you know, I think with it being 500 pieces, it was a challenge that I was able to overcome relatively quickly. Actually, I haven't worked out the time. I'll work out the time for you and I'll pop it up on the screen in just a moment. The time it took me to finish the puzzle. I suspect if it was a less challenging 500 piece puzzle, it would have been quicker. But it was quite challenging, especially this kind of big area of foliage at the top of the tree here, and when I was essentially sort of working by shape. But I was able to use the pattern and the colours as well. So, you know, it wasn't just laborious shape testing. I was able to scan the pieces with, you know, just with my eyes and find it relatively quickly. And there was a good variety of the different shaped pieces as well. So, you know, I wasn't kind of trawling through all of the same kind of piece, which was good. So overall, a great puzzling experience. I really enjoyed it. So that's another one under the belt, another brand that I've tried and been very happy with. So yeah, stay tuned for the next one. I'm hope to do the blue Kazoo one soon. So yeah, look out for that one. That will be really fun, I hope. It'll be really good fun. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there and I will say thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye!